interact with the legends and ask questions and listen to their stories. We talk about kennels and dogs of the past and present. Hosted by one of the game's most respected kennels, with over 40 years in the hunt, going hard kennels Twin 1 and Twin 2, dogs like Champion the Brat, the very first champion off-brand champion Mayday, the dog of the year, and Register of Merit. Champion Pretty Mama, two-time Best in Show and two-time Gamest in Show. Going Hard's Bay Bay, Register of Merit, Damn to Champion What a Day, Champion Gus, Champion Elrod, Champion Yellowbird. So pull up a seat and let's talk dogs. Let's talk about pit bulls. The history, the breeding, the maintaining and feeding, and the controversies surrounding the great hunt. Come interact with the legends and ask questions and listen to their stories. We talk about kennels and dogs of the past and present. Hosted by one of the game's most respected kennels, with over 40 years in the hunt, going hard kennels Twin 1 and Twin 2, dogs like Champion the Brat, the very first champion off-brand champion Mayday, the dog of the year, and Register of Merit. Champion Pretty Mama, two-time Best in Show and two-time Gamest in Show. Going hard Bay Bay, Register of Merit, Damn to Champion What a Day, Champion Gus, Champion Elrod, Champion Yellowbird. So pull up a seat and let's talk dogs. Let's talk about pit bulls. The history, the breeding, the maintaining and feeding, and the controversies surrounding the great hunt. Come interact with the legends and ask questions and listen to their stories. We talk about kennels and dogs of the past and present. Hosted by one of the game's most respected kennels, with over 40 years in the hunt, going hard kennels Twin 1 and Twin 2, dogs like Champion the Brat, the very first champion off-brand champion Mayday, the dog of the year, and Register of Merit. Champion Pretty Mama, two-time Best in Show and two-time Gamest in Show. Going hard Bay Bay, Register of Merit, Damn to Champion What a Day, Champion Gus, Champion Elrod, Champion Yellowbird. So pull up a seat and let's talk dogs. Let's talk about pit bulls.
What
the
up,
history,
what
the
up?
breeding, the
What's up to
maintaining
the
and
chat?
feeding, and the
What is up
controversies
to the
surrounding the
chat?
great hunt. Come interact with the legends and ask questions and listen to their stories. We talk about kennels and dogs of the past and present. Hosted by one of the game's most respected kennels, with over 40 years in the hunt, going hard kennels Twin 1 and Twin 2, dogs like Champion the Brat, the very first champion off-brand champion Mayday, the dog of the year, and Register of Merit. Champion Pretty Mama, two-time Best in Show and two-time Gamest in Show. Going hard Bay Bay, Register of Merit, Damn to Champion What a Day, Champion Gus, Champion Elrod, Champion Yellowbird. So pull up a seat and let's talk dogs. Let's talk about pit bulls. The history, the breeding, the maintaining and feeding, and the controversies.
All right, come on, y'all. Let's hit the like button. Let's hit the like button. Popping. That sound like
listen to their stories.
popping.
Hosted by one of the game's most respected kennels, with over 40 years in the hunt, going hard kennels Twin 1 and Twin 2, dogs like Champion the Brat, the very first champion off-brand champion Mayday, the dog of the year, and Register of Merit. Champion Pretty Mama, two-time Best in Show and two-time Gamest in Show. Going hard Bay Bay, Register of Merit, Damn to Champion What a Day, Champion Gus, Champion Elrod, Champion Yellowbird.
Right.
So pull up a seat and let's talk dogs. Let's talk about pit bulls. The history, the breeding, the maintaining and feeding, and the controversies surrounding the great hunt. Come interact with the legends and ask questions and listen to their stories. We talk about kennels and dogs of the past and present. most respected kennels, with over 40 years in the hunt, scoring hard kennels Twin 1 and Twin 2, dogs like Champion with the Brat, the very first champion off-brand champion Mayday, the Dog of the Year, and Register of Merit. Champion Pretty Mama, 2-time Best in Show, 2-time GAMENESS in Show. Going hard Bay Bay, Register of Merit, Dance of Champion, What a Day, Champion Gus, Champion El Rod, Champion Yellow Bird. So pull up a seat and let's talk.
What's up, Benny? What's up, Benny? My man, what's up, Benny? To all the viewers out there, what up? Welcome to the show. Here we go. Once again, let's try to get them like buttons. Let's try to hit them like buttons. Let's get ready. They moving a little bit, not much. I don't know why I be pressing the like button, but I don't know. Ever since I've been doing this, I be hitting people's like buttons. Trying to kind of, understand what it be like 1,500 views, only 100 likes. Be like, come on, man, hit the like button. Come on, man, hit the like button. Come on, man, hit the like button. Come on, guys. Let's get ready. What's up, yo? It's Friday. No more weekday, y'all. We into the weekend. Hope everybody did y'all thing with them dogs. Take care of them chains. Got that clean water out there. Picked up that shit. Fed them. Check them collars. Check them anchors. Check them chains. If you ain't had an accident this week, then you done had a good week. Thank you guys for coming. What's up, fellas? What's up, fellas? Thank y'all for coming. Don't forget to hit them like buttons. If you haven't subscribe. New people come in. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Old people, my followers, thank you for coming. Salute to you guys. Thank you for coming. You know, I got to take off my stuff here. As you see, I've been representing my act right where I live, where I'm from, born and raised. So I had to put that 2 cents out there for everybody to know. You know, my condolences to the Walker family. You know, his father was a good friend of mine. We wrestled together in high school. Me and him was playing one time when I came home, and I accidentally, you know, broke his shoulder, and he ended up in the hospital. And in that time period, he got sick, and he passed. So that was his only son. So he had a wife, and he had a son. And he lost that son in a terrible way. So I send my condolences to the Walker family. I commend my peoples in Akron. You know, stand strong. And I believe. I'm definitely a witness. So shout out to all my homeboys. You're in the room for them act right. Salute to you guys. Hold it down. You know I love you guys. That's home, always will be. Let's put it on that. Hey guys, we're gonna be talking some stuff today. Yeah. I think I wanted to stretch into the game a little bit and say about, you know, let's talk about gameness. Gameness. Before I get started, let me shout out some of the people here. I want to see you in the room. Vinny, I see you. Damn, Supreme Excellence, Rubber City. Yo, yo, yo. Lefty, what's up, baby boy? Dreadlock, yes, sir. Salute to you, B. Frank Rizzo, on time. Middletown Kennels. That's right, baby. I see you in attendance. Wind Moon, what's up, bro? Chest to chest, camp to camp. Let's go, gentlemen. That's right. That come from Wee Moon. I hope I hit it right, baby. Big Don, what's up? Big Don P. 1Q Kennels and Farm. What's up, baby? Mr. Mason, what's up, my man? Mr. Ortiz, what's happening? COVID 500 Kennels, what's up, Eric Williams? Illuminati, I see you, H.U. Henry. Thank you. Mr. Paris Jackson, salute to you, sir. Larry Marshall, my man. Big T Rules, ADG Kennels in the house. Let it be known. It's known, bro. It's known. Thank you for coming. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, my friend. Hit that like button. First time I seen you. Hope it don't be the last. Stand up. Salute, my friend. Thank you. Okay, we done got that part out the way, fellas. Let's talk about something real serious. Real serious. Now, we all can agree. I need some help from y'all because we did a survey. So I'm going to talk about that survey. I know everybody done took it if you haven't. You know, some of y'all want to wait till the end. Y'all getting smart. Y'all want to see the basis. Because twin take y'all places and be like, damn, I made the wrong choice. But you didn't put it on there? Oh, man. He didn't put it up there, y'all. Now I'm going to put the question out there. Anyway, question is gameness. Gameness now, is it to be tested when it comes to confirmation? What's the basis of gameness? How are you able to measure and understand the gameness of a dog that you are competing in shows? How is the gameness measured? Remember, a lot of you guys are just breeding your dogs, make them look pretty, putting them on Facebook, you know what I'm saying? Got nice pedigrees, you know, even when there's a couple shows. But for real dog men, the real ones, you know, I have to say this. When I say real, I'm speaking in the aspect of me being real. You know, not hiding the fact that, you know, I am a dog man, period. So I'm speaking the aspect of a dog man. Yes, I did breedings, but never once did I ever change the fact that my purpose was still to be a hunter. Now, how am I going to be a good hunter or have a great line if all I'm doing is conditioning my dogs for pictures? Conditioning my dogs to stand out there and be judged. How do I know that I have the standards set forth and what really makes the American Pit Bull a true game dog? How do you measure that? When you're talking about, oh, how he looks and how he does in these shows, how do you measure the gameness? How do you breed not knowing if you have even the standards, and what are the standards based on when it comes to gameness in these type of dogs? Because we have a lot more breeders out here than we have hunters, that's for damn sure. And like you said, for those hunters, you know, they get one and, you know, they start cashing in the most obvious ways. We can't tell the truth from the fictional. You really don't know. So it's the network, we already know it's a problem. We already know it's a problem. We know this game it has its problems, but it's still the game. So we have to continue addressing these kind of issues, because these kind of issues we must talk about. You know what I mean? You still seeing breedings made on the internet all the time of these great breedings. You're seeing them, I'm seeing them, and I'm looking at them and I'm asking the question, why did they do that? You know, it looked good, but why did they do it? I'm looking at the dogs and asking that question. I mean, I'm just being real. You know, that's a breeder. He got 2 good dogs and he's bragging about it. And he has a right to brag about it because it's a good breed. Problem is, looking at him, like I'm looking at him, okay, you know what I'm talking about. When I'm asking why, when I don't see no indication of any necessary reason to why not, you know what I mean? And you breeding them like this. Because you can probably sell some puppies just in the breeding alone, but where is the gameness? Now we got this nice bred stuff out here that has not been tested. We can look at it and it looks good. Look like it's shaped up, pretty muscled, and, you know, all the nice standards of a bulldog, but where is the gameness to be measured? And why not have your dogs on your yard? They ain't got to be doing nothing, but again, I am a firm believer in those dog men And those people that believes that even if you ain't doing shit with your shit should be called. And if it's in your own privacy of understanding and knowing what type of dog you're breeding. You have to come to the reality of this. How many of you are willing to do that? Because a lot of you ain't. And that's why the quality is getting to the point where you don't know what you're getting. And I honestly believe, again, in the fundamentals of guys, start putting your foot down and stop being so quick to one, breed your shit, because they're flooding the market with a lot of untested shit. And it's not helping none here. And then you're taking this untested stuff and you're trying to make up for some of the stuff that might work out there, that probably is working out there, and you're trying to make it better with the top half being the part or the bottom half being the part. But what about the fucked up part that you got? Because it's an untested shit. You know, you go out there and you find the right dog to breed to, it's still you're dealing with not what you would call the best quality of producing the dogs that you want to look for, especially when you start getting beyond yourself, because you don't want to sell them. You don't want to making all the money off of them, but when they start falling off and they start coming up with these, well, he did this and he did that and he did this, and the next thing you know it, you know, your name will never get out there as far as being a good breeder, because all your shit would never be heard of, because you know we don't talk about shit that ain't shit. I ain't never heard of a legendary piece of shit. For real. Anybody out there ever heard of a legendary piece of shit that we could talk about? Whoopee, Pelican Bay, Montos, what's up, baby? I had to take a peek. I had to shout it out to everybody. I'm going to keep on shouting out as I see y'all coming through. Thank you for coming, fellas. Thank you for coming. Now, I haven't got a chance to read the chats, and I hope we get some input in there, because I want to know, because remember, y'all the ones with all the dogs. And if you fit in any of those categories, I'm not blasting you. Because what I'm saying is just straight out the truth. Everybody out here ain't trying to be a hunter. And I understand that. Some of you guys just want to have some nice bred dogs and don't care, as long as they bred nice. And I commend that. But when we're talking about gameness tonight, and you as a breeder, to just want to go that far, you have forgot the ingredient that's most important, that you as a dog person who wants to have good dogs, that you have to face and do. If you do it all on your own, let's see what you actually see. You got to call your shit. You got to call your shit. That's all I'm saying. It's a must. Because if you don't, what are you doing with the genetics that make great dogs? There is a genetic formula to that, man, and you have to have the formula that really makes it all work and come together. The most important thing, gameness. The ability to be a game dog. Not a great one. Don't even got to be a match one. Just got to be game. You got to do it. If you don't do it this one time in your life, man, every one of them motherfuckers need to go through that meal. Understand it. I'm not trying to tell you to be a dog fighter. I didn't say you was a dog fighter, call you a dog fighter, tell you to fight your dog. I'm telling you what I would do. You got to call your dog if it was me. Bottom line. And I don't care what you're dealing with. You have to come to some point. Because if you don't, you know, you're never going to get started anyway. Like I said, nobody talks about a piece of shit. Y'all can have all the great breeders in the world, but guess what? They're going to fall off into the wrong hands. The hands that you don't want them to fall off into. Because you're putting them out there. Well, why the hell are you breeding like that if you're not trying to put them out there? Based on, you can collect the money based on just how you bred, and that's how you breed, and that's the truth. But look what you're doing once you get them out there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you made the sale. You sold a lot of them. But guess what happens in the other side of those who buy them? They think they got something. They get out there and that shit just be, it don't even make it past phase 1. You can't even get out of phase 1. You know why? Because they're on a yard now. My yard. A yard, the shit got to go do what it better do, or it's going to be an empty change space. And I can't send them and get any of this shit that I got off of you to get past phase 1. Okay? Ain't nothing to talk about because they never got past phase 1. Or what if they start looking good and you so stuck on not really seeing the truth to the end when it's free that you want to take the pedigree and take them on out there because you done seen enough. Never really putting the test to them because you don't want to see him look bad. You want to see him look good. The pedigree gonna go out there and all I got to do is win a couple of them. And you run out there and that motherfucker stand on the line on your ass. And yeah, it's bad to see one that win. I mean, a long one, I don't mind. But them short quitters, come on now. Them short quitters got some heat on their ass and quit. Okay, those happen. I ain't say the ones that go in there and get jammed up so bad that they get the game knocked out of their ass. I'm talking about the ones that don't want to get in that heat and turn around and curl up because it's in his bloodline to do so. Because when you bought him, you wasn't buying a game dog anyway. He was bred good, but who said he was game? You wanted to believe it because you bought it. And it quit on you, probably lost some change. Kind of embarrassing when they quit that quick, especially how they quit. And you got to remember where you bought this dog. You done raised this dog up to 2 years old, you did everything right, taking pictures, posting them all on the internet, looking all strong, and you know what I mean, and took your little peek. You know them ones that don't really want to do it, they just put in there as long as they look good, everything cool. Them kind. They have a soul in their mind that, you know, they can go out there and when they do, they get embarrassed. These are the young ones who don't really want to see the truth until the truth costs them. You know, there's a couple of people out here that's gonna look at this video and be honest to themselves, because you ain't got to be honest to nobody but yourself when I say these shit, because put yourself in that position, and if it fits you, that's you. Okay? Ain't nobody peeking around, pointing and nothing. I'm talking to you direct for those who understand exactly what I'm talking about. Because the game is being flooded this way. These guys are out here buying these dogs and they ain't doing shit. This ain't doing shit from the people you buying them from. And when you buy one that ain't, that mean, again, I have nothing wrong with active getting 3-time winning, going by the name, you know, of a champion. It's really a hard thing. It's really a hard thing to break, you know, after doing it so long. A.Q. Henry say, but what if he is a producer? Do he still need to be game? One thing for fact when you say that, my friend, what is he producing? That's the question. We got to give him all rights to the glory. If he's producing gameness, if he's producing winners, then you know we have to get the product and the results the credit due. Remember, we talking about him. We talking about him. Why are we talking about him? Am I right, AQ? AQ, you understand what I'm saying? Right on, baby boy. We ain't even talking about him if he ain't producing shit, are we? You said, what if he was producing? We would be talking about him. And what is he producing? And that would be my question to you when we call him a producer. No, we don't want one just going in, losing too many games, dead games. That, hey, we know they game if that's where they losing. But if they winning, how are they winning? And what is the consistency? We don't need a whole bunch. We just need some shit to keep on playing with. And especially if you're playing with it on your yard. If you ain't playing on your yard and you passing the shit out, percentages is not going to look good. There's going to be some guys that's just lucky. But if he's producing, it's what he producing. Did he produce one? Did he produce a couple? Is he producing dogs that can produce? Is producing winners is all about producing what? Got to be producing winners to call yourself a producer. I don't need a bunch of game shit in here. I need some winners. Winners. Ones that really make the dog that they coming off of worth talking about. You know what I mean? It can be occur. There's a couple great dogs out here that literally just stood there and quit. Great winners. ROMs got quit on them. So understand what I'm saying. Don't mean that they can't produce. Question is, the proof is in the pudding. And the only pudding I remember got 4 corners. That's the only proof that I can give you. But good question, AQ. Thank you. That was a good one. I like to know, though, what he producing, though. You wouldn't you? You got to, when you say we call him a producer, boy, you got to really understand what that means. Especially if we don't know nothing about him. What is he producing for us to talk about him? If he's something to talk about, then we talking about it, we're going to look into it, and we're going to be on it. I know the game like that. I mean, you'll be surprised. I understand exactly what you're saying. But the thing that set me away from everybody else, and the thing that I'm trying to tell you guys, is really based on what I did in my mind frame. So I'm giving you my mind frame, okay? Clearly telling you my mind frame. My mind frame continues to say, got to call them. And if you ain't doing them, at least know what you got. Here, Hosbridge, you got to call. You got to tell nobody, you ain't got to do nothing, you ain't commit no crime, you ain't got to do no time. You got to do the truth. If you're going to put them dogs out there and expect them to do something that you won't do, then you need to do it. Again, we're never going to talk about shit if they ain't shit. Never heard of a legendary piece of shit. Got me, fellas. We don't very much talk about a one-time loser. He comes out producing like hell. When he getting moving out there with all them winners, you're going to always hear him say, he was a one-time loser. And he wasn't a one-time loser game. He quit. He's going to always be the daddy. He quit. Will it matter? How would it matter if we still calling him a producer? What is he producing? Is he producing a lot of him? They can get out there but can't win? No, they have to be winning for him to be such a producer that we're talking about a one-time loser / producer. He has to be out there being worked. The lion has to be doing successful things. They ain't gonna be all on Facebook posing, calling him a producer because he put his puppies look so good that, you know, you can post them. You should look at them, boy. Boy, they, whoo, man, they looking good. You know, but that's how they playing now. Big C rules. Iron sharpens iron, so you must have seen a game one to know the standard. You must have seen a game one to know the standard. Big C rules. I'm going to ask part of that question to that, all right? How many of you guys not doing nothing with your dogs, but just taking these pretty dogs and you posting them up, muscling them up, walking them down the street, posting it all on the internet? How many of you guys ever seen what gameness looks like based on the standards set forth? Now, I have standards to what I call gameness. My standards I live by, and my standards, y'all already know what I did. I set my standards very high. You go down, you stay down. It's my chance to make change space. I don't hide the truth. I go searching for it. Once you go down, because your purpose is being a match dog on going hard yard, it was over. I don't do that. Care how game you are. You'll just be a game dog. But guess what? My standard of game is because I know what gameness looks like. And the kind of gameness that I need if I'm going to be out here hunting is the kind of gameness that I have to see to put you back on that damn chain. And if you can't win it, you're going to scratch it. You won't make it. I can feel free to breed him and sell him and have him breed anything he want to breed off of me. I ain't selling you a match dog because you never could be one for me. And I have some crazy ass dogs out there. They just weren't match dogs for me because they've been game tested. My purpose of game testing, like I said, I'm a hunter. I'm going to get the truth. That's the only way my chain's going to get back full or it's going to come up empty. This is how I did my part in preserving what the fuck Going Hard was doing when it was breeding dogs. You know, it didn't have no standards to what everybody else wanted anyway. I was too busy trying to figure out what I wanted. And what I wanted was stay busy. Busy. You know? I didn't brand Going Hard Kennels. Not 1 minute did I brand Going Hard Kennels. No. The dogs branded Going Hard Kennels. The breedings branded Going Hard Kennels. The people were able to do what we did, branded Going Hard Kennels. Because if I wasn't shit, would we be talking about or listening to me right now for real? You know what I'm saying? Really? I mean, some people can get away with it, but at least y'all ain't nobody throwing rocks at me telling me I ain't did shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm sharing my world and I'm not reading through it. I'm telling you my life. And I'm putting it in the aspect of this was my way of thinking, my frame of mind, and why I feel like this should be this way or that way. You know? I mean, to the standards, as far as a real dog man, and when I say real dog man, remember, I'm not taking nothing away from the breeders and all that, but they don't make the history of what this thing does to us, the real dog men. The ones, the competitive nature of preserving what we know is the truth. The truth cannot carry on until we make it the truth. It's got all kind of makeup and shit all over it. Been pissed on, all kind of shit. The truth is the gameness of the dog to win. That's the first start. Don't care about him producing shit until he wins. And if you can produce a winner, then you best believe you can find the standards of your standards. Remember, what was his name again? Yeah, Pete, what is it? Big C Rose. Yeah. Remember, it's their perception. You know, I told you my perception. You go down, you stay down. I ain't got nothing to lose. This like a match to me. It's like a match to me. The only thing I can do is pick up or watch them quit. You don't hear me talking much about nothing that ain't shit on my yard. You don't hear me talk about those dogs. You don't hear me never talk about none of them. I can tell you about the ones who made it that's still on the chain. But I can't tell you about the empty chain space that when there was a dog or what that dog was or who that dog was because I don't try to remember them. I basically forgot. Ain't nothing to talk about. He gone. Right? But this is the way it is. So I make damn sure I know what I'm raking the fuck up every day. I got to rake this all that shit up. Feed all those dogs that I was feeding. I was very clear that my standards are probably not as high and strong as yours. You know what I'm saying? Because my standard was more on an aspect of, it really didn't come to a standard. It became an obsession of being the best. I don't think it was really put a standard on what you call the best. You can't. And that's what I was doing. Anything that I call the best chance of me to win with is what I'm going to use. When it came down to everything that I was doing, from the breedings, understanding the breedings that got me to these breedings, it was only focused on being the best. I'm talking about competitively having dogs that I can win with. I mean, that's the whole purpose of the dogs. To me, my mind frame, my mindset. Vinny says, hey, thank you, Vinny. Vinny says, just because she loves me that much and going to try to make me happy, I would have to pick her up to save her from her love. Well, Vinny, I commend you. Okay? But Vinny, my passion for these dogs was not that type of passion. Okay? I love my dogs in a certain way, and loving them to save them was not my way. I'm just gonna keep it real with you. I never loved my dogs that way. And I love my dogs, but I love my dogs for what they were. To me, warriors, gladiators, ultimate warriors. Everybody can be an ultimate warrior. You love them kind of dogs for being what they are, not because they love me to do what. Why should I love you to do what? Because you love me? No. You're going to love me because I love you because you're a warrior. You are still standing here in front of me. That's why I love them. I love my yard because I had a yard of warriors, producing warriors. That's what I loved about them. You wasn't doing that, and I'm testing your ass and you don't want to do that, I don't love you to keep you, period. You're done. That's how much I love you, because you're not, I'm telling you how much I love you because I'm being compassionate. I don't take my dogs and give them away. I don't take my dogs and cut them loose. I don't take my dogs and do anything but the right thing. And it's the best thing for them. I can't take care of them. They're not meant to be cut loose or taking their breeds and just put them in somebody's hands so they can, breed off some bullshit? Put them in somebody's hand and, they didn't make it, but still don't change the fact they'll snatch up some shit. No, I did the humane thing, whether you call it against the law or not. You know what I'm saying? They was killing dogs around here, down there at the pound like crazy. Every time they get a pit, they kill it. The hell. Yeah, how you kill it, you're still taking his life. Now, why can't I take one that I don't want? And have the same humanity, you know what I'm saying, to love him, but no, this is the best thing for you because I can't use you. And I don't see giving you away or cutting you loose or doing anything to mistreat you when you don't have a time or a space on my yard anymore. You're done. It is what it is. Yeah, I do love them. I don't love them no other way but the way I'm supposed to love them. Because it's that kind of love that keeps the game going on for me. I felt like I was part of a fraternity that I wanted to be such a big part of, just for the enjoyment of my damn self. I wanted to be like those guys. That's it. And I had the mentality that I felt like, you know, to me, at this time of my life, after looking back, man, I felt like James Crenshaw, Ivy Stevens, True Colors, and Abrahams, and McNasty. I felt like Stone City, Southern Kennels. My dogs is coming out just as good as they shit. I'm there. I'm riding around America trying to put my shit out there. Wasn't bragging or nothing. I'm hunting the best way I could. Having fun. Don't breed this man was coming from a man that was a mad scientist about producing what he wanted to do by learning from those who was doing it. And the only way I came to the answer that I came to and the conclusions I was having, I know I had to be doing what they was doing, because if you ain't calling hard, ain't no way in the hell you're going to tell me that you're going to keep producing these kind of dogs. I don't believe you. We're never going to have those dogs back if we don't tighten that shit up.
Remember a dog named Zorro?
I do remember a dog named Zorro. Yes, I remember a dog named Zorro. I do remember a dog. You know what, man? Man, I remember Zorro. Didn't Zorro become a champion? Zorro became a champion, bro. Tribal War. He became champion Zorro. And you'll see him in one of those journals too. He did become champion Zorro. He did. Yeah. But back to the dogs and the GAMENESS. I'm still talking about GAMENESS. How can you measure GAMENESS without calling the dog? Yet you take that aspect by saying, without doing anything, but looking at the dog winning shows, confirmations, you know, the judges had their way of doing things. You know, to me, the best conditioned dog to look like he's ready to go is the best dog. You know, and that's the best we got. So how do we measure GAMENESS without calling the dog? And how do we make that part of a breeding program with that type of standard? Is my question to y'all. You know, there's people out there that does this. So it would be only right for me, being a straight up person that I am about the stories, and just say, well, you know, how is that mindset on that kind of type of stuff? Does it hurt the game? What does it do? Me, I just can't see how it works or understand how it could work if you're not using the genetics that made these dogs the great dogs that they are. And I had a taste to know that it does work that way. It really does. It really does. I didn't come up with nothing new that was not already being taught to me, and it was already being happening. Yeah, he was just reminding me at the bottom of the on our show, it says right there. Here's the question: can the beholder of an American Pit Bull Terrier GAMENESS be tested? Without testing it, basically. How do you test gameness if it's not there to be tested? There another way that we got a way out here to test the dog that you know, through the process of these breedings and who they're getting their hands out to, because the only reason your dog is bred like this and even bringing attention, because it's probably got something in him that's known to be the shit. Remember, we don't talk about trash. So the only way that works is guys are making good, you're buying good dogs, but you're all buying untested dogs in so many avenues. And you are. And it's getting worse because this has been a pattern, and you got a lot of dogs out here that's being bred with good bred, but every dog in the litter don't become great. And at some point, one of those dogs in the litter may be a great dog if you don't never do anything in your life, but he produces great dogs. But what about the other 6? What about the other 6 that's gonna mob the damn pedigree of the same line that ain't shit? You know what I mean? Things to think about. Those are the ones that fall short because they try to build off the one that does. That makes it worse. And this is what we're getting a lot of. Saturated. Saturated a lot. I've just some good ones because I should be wanting to read them. It says, no way to tell without calling. This is Bad Kennels. He said, there's no way to tell without calling. There's too much love for looks and attitude rather than heart, gameness, and ability. I'm going to say that one more time because this is not me saying it, but it's definitely me wanting to repeat it because he is 100% right, and I'm on his bandwagon. Me and him got the same damn bus because his frame of mind is just like mine. He understands exactly what I'm saying and the importance because you can't put it no clearer, flat out. So I'm going to repeat it again. Bad Kennel said, no way to tell without calling. That's bottom line. Bottom line, right there, that's the muscle right there. And you can throw a rose on that because you couldn't be no fucking nicer. You ain't going to add another conversation to that. To me, definitely to him. There's too much love for looks. Remember, we talked about it. Muscle them up, put them all out there on Facebook, chasing a ball, or got something where he's acting crazy, looking great. All that. And y'all run with that. Y'all breed on that. And like he said, rather than going by the heart and the gameness and the ability, and the only way you're going to understand any of them standards right there, is you got to go all the way back to the first statement that he made. The first statement and the most important statement before he broke it down. No way to tell without calling. Yes, sir, Bad Kennels. Thank you for confirmation. Salute. Because that's confirmation. And it's the truth. It's the truth. Provocative Bully, what's up, baby? Man, look, man, email me. I need you to email me, my friend. I need to holler at you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, big bro. Glad to see you. Don't see enough of you, but I'm glad to see you because I know you've been busy. But yeah, definitely been trying to get a hold of you. Good to see you in, bro. Thank you. You need to get your 2 cents on that one, Provocative Bully. I need your confirmation on this. What is your way of thinking about this? What is your standpoint? What do you see? If you've been in the room long enough, I want to know from other guys. You know, you ain't got to put your business out there. Remember, everything that we're talking about is basically a fictional aspect of entertainment, so feel free. You know what I'm saying? So I need to throw the disclaimer up there to get y'all to be like, loosen up some. But look, you hear me? I'm telling you, that's why I'm always talking about me. And you can take these things and kind of twist them in and use the tools. Use the tools. That's what you're here to listen to. Why y'all sit here and listen to me? Because I'm really putting it out there. You know? Yeah, back in the day, Pet Island used to be a real good source of real help for me. Back in the day. I don't know about the Pet Island of today, but they from the PR. That Pet Island was a real good help to me back in the day. Now, they got better dogs. I know they was messing with some of those mechanic dogs and, you know, drew my attention to what they were doing with them. They was getting good dogs. And they were starting to do good things. So, you know, through the years, I see they really have came up. But, for me, there was a real big help in me getting the things that I needed to really make my shit work. You know, they never have a problem with them. You know, they gave them good supplies. They gave them good help, good advice. So if that's the same Pit Island, yeah, you know, those guys, you know, I say salute to them for the times, if they're the same guys, that they, and the things that they did for me through the years, they were real good to me. And I want to thank Stone City for setting me up and hooking me up. So, yeah, I enjoy Pit Island. I said they got some good dogs. You know what I mean? That's one thing for sure. They're breeding some good dogs. You know, but again, my question is, you know why they turning out? You're seeing some good ones coming out of their camp. They're not breeding papers. Remember, everybody can be one. You buy a puppy, you really don't know what you're getting. You try to pick the litter, you know. But most of the time, the guy trying to hold on to is the best pick. You know, he gonna change the price and make him a little different. But to me, I always felt like I've sat there and watched all my badasses always was the slowest ones. For me. I mean, they might have started at early ages, but it was always the last. Always the last ones. It was always a little slower than everybody else. Not taking nothing away from my firecrackers, because most of all my crazy ones that, you know, just came out, they were deep game dogs, but the ability, they never were able. I've never had one that, except for Brat and Little Mayday. I can say they came in early, right out the back, and was monsters all the way, straight nutcases. So I can say yes, the Brat, she was crazy. But the rest of them, I always noticed the better ones were always the late starters. Not late, like, you know, they wasn't far behind. But it was like, you know, they wasn't the ones running the cage. Maybe it was her and Buck Rogers was slow. Roger Ramjet, slow. Redman was slow. You know, these dogs was not grown dogs, but they was, you know, not quick as everybody else, but they turned out to be the better of the dogs. When they did kick on, you had a problem. You had a big problem. And the thing is, change pace was always on jeopardy. Remember, they don't become nothing to talk about until they pass all that shit. They ain't worth talking about. That's why you hear me talking about. They done went through my meal and they passed the test. So this is what I'm saying when it comes down to you guys building your destiny and your dynasty. It's a fact that everybody ain't trying to do what we do out here anymore. And it's a fact that it's turning more into a money machine than a game machine. You know? Everybody just don't want to take the chance. So I guess we're just going to have a bunch of pretty bred dogs around. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to have so many of them, we ain't going to have nothing but a handful of active. Everybody's in their own little circle. That own little circle shit, it does work for you, but guess what? You're only in your own little circle. You know, and every once in a while you'll catch another little circle that might migrate your way. And most of the time when we do start migrating that way, y'all either up the level of the dogs you got, because when they come through there migrating, they start knocking all your shit off, because once we go there, we don't be in a hurry to go away. Y'all got a couple of everybody want to get some get back. Nobody's ever afraid to try to give a man a chance to get back. Because what was working only in your circle, you might have just had the best dogs in your circle. They mean you had the best dogs in the country until somebody else come to that backyard to check it out and see. And that's what we were game to do. I didn't care if you didn't travel, because I did. And get a chance to see. So I know my dogs would go anywhere. You know, and that's what I worked for. I wanted to be competitive like everybody else. And the mindset to be that way, I wasn't lying to myself about shit. As a matter of fact, I was pretty blunt. Really blunt about it. My chain space mattered. I didn't mind having an empty chain. At least I ain't feeding and cleaning up a piece of shit. You know what I mean? I would have an empty chain and wait for a good dog to be put there. And that's just the way it was. That's my love. Them the dogs that I love, the ones I gotta go out there and feed every day. I wake up shit. I love every single one of them. At any time. Don't mean that I gotta get rid of your ass. I mean I don't love you. I just can't keep you no more. Just don't want you no more. You're not gonna be able to make my team, buddy. You know what I mean? I mean, people be just don't understand. You know, it's a responsibility. It's not meant for y'all to just be bragging and telling the world, you know what I mean, things that you must do to be in a game that's already, you know, in my time was illegal. You know? If I'm doing something illegal, I wasn't bothering nobody. I was only bothering the people who was involved in doing what I was doing. It's a fraternity. It's something that's been around for years. And it became a target. But it's been a target for a long time too. And it's always been able to survive. But we had taken so many hits, the bombardment of the hits, it did affect. It had a major effect. Major. You know? And it's really at a bad place when we're discussing something like GAMENESS today. Tribal War, he said, I met you at your spot with the dude you gave the Beetlejuice meal that day, who didn't make your squad. Had a lot of fun eating oranges at the zoo. Salute. Thank you, bro. He did not make my squad. Yeah, Bucky. Hey, Tribal Wars. I bet it was Bucky. Because Bucky was the only male in that litter that didn't make my team. You're right. You did right. And the only reason he didn't make my team, because he wasn't on. That's the only way he got out of my yard. You're right, Tribal. Yep, his name was Bucky. I remember that. Beetlejuice smell. Hey, he was there. You seen all them damn dogs. I know you had your good day. He was out there with them oranges. I had orange trees. All the dogs were by an orange tree. But the GAMENESS of the game, man, is the most important part of 2022. Like they said, you know, the hunters are turning into breeders. And the beginners, you know, their lifestyle didn't change to, they don't even care. They'll spend their money and don't care as long as the dog is bred good. The expectations of this dog growing up to be the actual
the bulldog that's supposed to be to carry the damn line to the proper place will never be checked. It doesn't matter. To him, he got that puppy in that litter. You know, and it's going to be like that as long as he continue to go out there and feeding the lie in his head. Because he don't know. He just believes. The truth he cannot say until he do the right thing and do it to the utmost of his ability to understanding my standards, not his. My standards to say you go all in. Why would you want a dog that can't make the team that's going to make you famous? If I was to pick up every dog that went down that I could not use and just did what with him? What if I just stopped it right there? Right there. Then leave him down this, he's not going to win. I'll have to pick him up. And just stop it right there. Like, I mean, look, you didn't have a choice at that point. Remember, I could have did that and don't know what kind of dog I have. I mean, I would have took that dog and did some shit like that and put that dog back on the chain. And really, to me, I couldn't think at night, knowing I got a dog on the yard that I got off the hook and don't know whether this motherfucker is going to go or quit. I get up in the middle of the night and go right back out there and put that motherfucker right back down if I just start doing shit like that. No, once you go down, you stay down. If you're getting the shit beat out of you, you're going to quit. You're going to get to the edge of that time and point where I know that when I grab you, I'm going to grab you because you're right there. You're right there. You scratch, I'm going to save your life. I'm going to pick you up and save you. But you'll be in a position, if you don't, I know you couldn't because you won't. You don't hear me talking about those. Only ones I talk about is the ones that make that scratch over there, knowing that I didn't have nothing to lose. If he did or didn't, I had something to gain because he could go back on his chain. One thing for damn sure, he respected the line that he was carrying. If he make it back on Hard Kennels yard, back to his home. You don't never hear about the ones that don't make it. Because they're not worth talking about. Why? Just imagine, some of those dogs could have got out there and went in people's hands. If I was just sitting out there just selling them just because they were bred like they were bred. Well, he didn't make it, but let me go ahead and sell him. Somebody will buy him just because he's bred like this. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Y'all know who I'm talking about. You know that's just going on. Yes, that's the wrong way of doing shit. No, I didn't think that way, and this is why I'm bringing it to the forefront, because he's giving you guys something to think about when it comes to gamers. You guys got the future of the past in your hands. And there's got to be somebody out there that's going to be truthful to themselves to save the game. We're going to breed these dogs. You know what I'm saying? Call them hard. Make them show you that they're all that. And if they can't make it there because you don't want to go there. But make sure that's what you got. Give yourself some time, get him back to looking pretty, and then go put him out there, and I can guarantee you, if he's going to be a producer, they're going to be talking about it. Especially if he's being producing dogs that's falling off into the right people's hands. Not people's hands like you, the one who sold them the dog. Because the people who's making you famous, you ain't doing what they did to do it your damn self. But you did the right thing. You called hard. You called hard. You got your answer, and you got something to stand on. And that's why your dog is producing, because you know what you did when you called him. Phase 4 said the problem will always be figuring out what good is. Hey, Good one, Space Ghost. I'm going to tell you something, Space Ghost. Space Ghost. You know the problem with what good is they ain't leaving them down there. Okay? That's how you figure out what good is. I mean, if you were to do what I do, and I just leave them there because it's free, why would I take a dog and put him back on the chain knowing that he was put here today to be tested to see if he was match quality? Okay? Now the dog that got him, you know, he got a couple more walks through the corridor, but today he ended somebody's career. He ended somebody's career, and he gets the chance to know what it feels like to win because he got one good one down. While he's down there, I'm looking at it like, shit, I might as well be in a show because that's exactly what it just turned into. It just turned into a show, a free show for me. I can take this all the way to the end. Maybe the one that took him down could be a car. Let's take him, let's leave him there and let's see. We gonna get some answers though. You understand what I'm saying? We got answers. We got answers. Paris Jackson says the person behind the dog. And Paris Jackson, you're 100% right. And mentality. You know what I mean? I'm telling you my mentality. Why my opinion in things that I'm saying, and based on what I'm saying, you know, really boils down to the way Quinn's thinking. And, you know, I got to tell you, got to throw a seed out there. Remember, it's a seed. I'm being completely honest to you guys about a seed. Somebody planted a seed on me, and as I grew, I absorbed so much that it worked for me. I am in no comparison. I always say this, and you know it. I don't brag about my place and status. What I brag about is the people who made me. You know, the people I had the chance to, the stories that I can tell. You know what I'm saying? The things that I learned. And I'm spilling it all out here. Still got people asking me why. Because why not? If I don't, and I'm gone, then one of the most important things that could have been shared with you guys would have never made it. You would have never made it. You would have never been able to hear the things that I've told you guys. And for guys that's just coming in, starting to feed their first roll of dogs, a line of dogs, or, you know, want to get their feet wet but don't know where to go and how to start, there's a whole bunch of videos back there coming from a guy like me that's telling you that I was a dog fighter. I'm not a dog fighter anymore. You know? I mean, it's not like I'm worried about saying this shit when I got sentenced. The judge called me a dog fighter, so I ain't gonna say the judge was lying. So if the judge called me a dog fighter, I'm gonna accept the fact that I was a dog fighter. The judge felt that I was a dog fighter, then I'm gonna go with the judge. I was a dog fighter, okay? But what I'm saying now is what happened back then. It's too late for anybody to talk about now because it's just gone. And is it the truth? Is the fact? Is the problem? This is why I can say what the fuck I can say. Because there's no facts to anything. There's no truth to anything. It's all fictional. It's up to you to believe it or not. Remember that. Because this is how you want to have fun out here doing this. Then you have to all understand everything that we do and say out here is fictional. Why? Because it continues being fictional until it becomes a fact. And the most important, guys, thing you have to understand is you have to make damn sure it never becomes a fact. Because once it becomes a fact, it's not fictional no more. We can talk about anything we want to talk about of the past. Once it becomes the past, that's exactly what it is. And as if the past is a fictional past that has no factual proof, then it's going to be a fictional past, regardless of when it was, because we never know when it was until it becomes a fictional past. And when it starts becoming a fictional past and it has a factual past to it, you got a problem. You have a problem. And this is the problem I continue guys to talk about when it comes to us maintaining the gameness of the dog. Because you're doing too much bullshit out here, you know, flossing your dogs all over the internet. And you see how many people out here flossing their dogs. And ain't none of them active. And then the ones that's active, you know, y'all can't even poke y'all heads in and throw a little here, there, in there because you're muffled by so much bullshit around you. You feel like you're the one out of place. You know what I mean? If you're going to put a champion up there, don't put a picture of your champion. That don't make no damn sense. Unless you got a complete yard of doing nothing else on your yard, why would you put your picture of your champion on the internet? I could put a name there all day, but why would I put a champion? Especially if I'm trying to build a line off the dogs. Y'all don't need to see what he looked like. I mean, these days you don't. Unless you can maintain the fictional aspect of this. When you step out there on the internet and Facebook, you understand the only reason it doesn't become factual is because there's no facts. And when you give them facts, then there's no more fictional story. You have a problem because now they have facts to prove it's not a fictional story. This is not a fictional comment. And this is why you guys, I try to explain the law to you guys and try to explain where guys go wrong and try to explain, you know, even if you want to be a fake ass dogman, you want to play the game and you want to learn everything that everybody else knows so you can feel like you all that, you know, don't be afraid to learn the game by learning the law. So when you do start running your mouth too damn much, knowing that you ain't what you ain't, but you sound good, know the law so you don't sound like the police. Make sure you understand. You got to keep everything fictional because it's free to say whatever you want out here, y'all. You can say whatever the fuck you want out here. What makes it factual is when you say the wrong thing out here to lead them to believing that they can prove that that's not a fictional story. Now, how can somebody prove that unless you made it a factual story? You put your shit out there to the point that they knew it was a fact. Like guys putting their shit out there on Facebook scarred the fuck up. Talking shit. Showing breedings of dogs that scarred the fuck up. Good breedings, but why would you put a scarred up dog on there? Yeah, that's, you can tell, you can, you know, in this juice at work if they find you. But they're going to come with some heat. Because anything can happen. A dog can get off the chain, and you can have dog fighting all night. Doesn't mean you're a dog fighter. But you will have to explain it when they come and see your yard and you see these scarred up dogs on your yard. You can have scarred up dogs on your yard. Doesn't make you a dog fighter. It makes you normal like anybody else raising a bunch of dogs. The dog can get off the chain around here and shit gets fucked up. So why your dogs like that so aggressive? We're this type of line that I'm breeding. You know what I'm saying? You know, they're like pit bulls, you know, that's why they're on chain. They're about as secure as I can keep them, but I have had those moments that has happened. And it just really comes down to that. What they're going to take your dogs and say you're lying, and they don't have nothing better to think of and say. It don't work that way, people. It's when they come in your yard and you got a bunch of scarred up dogs out there that don't look like they've been taken care of. When you got a scarred up dogs out there and you got a training farm with treadmills and weight collars hanging all over the damn place, with no perception of, you know, What is the purpose of your dogs? I mean, you got them scarred up and you have a treadmill there. One of the charges is using equipment for the purpose of dog fighting. We can explain away the scars, but the circumstantial part of it will get you in trouble. That's why I tell you, you've got a dog that's on your yard that's scarred up, you need to keep him away. Put him away. He'll learn how to be a house dog or a crated dog during the day. 6 o'clock, everybody go home, I can put him out on the chain, he spend the night. In the morning, he's going back in the house. Because this is the only way you want to be if you fear of these people walking up on your yard. Don't tear up too much shit that you can't fix up. That's all. When you got that many damn scarred up dogs, there better be a bunch of damn winners sitting out there. Because you do good work with them and take care of them properly, you will get past it and they will heal if you're taking care of them the right way. Like I said, Roger had all kinds of scars on him because he was like a tan dog, but they was taken care of real good. They was closed real good. They was stitched up real good. They was stapled good. So they healed good. Scar tissue was always going to be there on those certain spots, but he wasn't a scarred up looking dog. For the damage that he took, you could use it all you want, but that was the purpose of them killing the dogs, because they could not push the scarred up shit, because when they did, their own veterinarian said he was too old and don't know when it happened or how it happened. So you cannot just sit there and say it was related to dog fight. It could have been a dog fight, but it could have been an accidental dog. Dogs get off the chain. So stop being, learn the law and stop trying to be so scary, because it's the scary people that's taking advantage of the game and just selling a bunch of bullshit. It's the scary people in the game just really concentrating more on the papers and having a nice looking dog, and really too scared to really, take the effort of understanding. If you really want to play the game, play the game. And if you don't know how to get around in the game, then listen. I'm telling you, it's, what I'm telling you is really based on my fundamental thinking, my mindset. Blame me. And I ain't telling y'all what to do. I can't make you do shit. I can't encourage you. All I'm just telling you is what I did. That's how we ride on that, right? Let me go ahead and just get that disclaimer up in there right quick. We got to give them that. We give them some of that right there. I want to make sure that everybody read our disclaimer. And understand that I'm not here trying to promote shit. I'm here trying to tell you shit. Game tests is, all right, guys. We done did the disclaimer. Guys, when I say game tests, you have to understand what I mean by game tests, okay? It ain't the amount of time. It's really based on the dogs. I've got a dog that's going in and put one of these dogs, they can be good dogs. But once they go down and there's no more use to them, it works in the whole aspect of, look, the dog who got him down, it turns into a show. And that's exactly what it turns into. I'm just keeping it real with you. My game test turns into a show, because no longer do I use down dogs. Being you on top, you're going to test this down dog. Why are we here? Plain and simple. Doesn't matter how long it takes. It doesn't matter how long it takes. He can still be down and still, to him, just don't have the ability to stay with him. But at some point, it's going to get real bad. And you know why? Because I know that point. That's the point I'm looking for. I'm looking for the point that can you finish him? And can you take it and come back? I'll save you if you can. Because if you can't, you're going to quit. Has nothing, time doesn't matter. Not the point that I'll be making when I do it. I give you every opportunity not to scratch because I'm going to take you that far. That's where I'm meant to take you because I want to make sure that I have a dog that I got to go back out here and feed and rake up his shit, that he's the right dog. And he deserves to be out there with me cleaning up his shit and still feeding him. And those are the dogs that stayed on my yard. In your yard and put them kind of standards on your yard. You don't have to sell them. You don't even got to fight them. Call them that as a must if you really want to be honest and truthful for what it is. For what it is. Gameness is everything. I'm sorry. Gameness was built on the dogs being pitted. That's where they got the American Pit Bull name. That's what it was all about. That's what they built on. All the great breeders will always say, is it number one? It's a must. 90% will put gameness over everything else because that's just it. We can find ability. As long as we can find gameness, then we're going to get ability, then we got a plus. But gameness is the foremost. And if you're going to be breeding these dogs, you got to make sure that that's the most important thing that you're going to make sure you got. And if you're lacking others, gameness has to be the strongest genetic thing in your dog. And the only way you can put that shit to the test is you got to test them all the way. And you got to test them to the point that you have to understand it's free. What are you losing? You're losing chain space. For putting shit that don't belong back on the chain. Just because it's bred and you figure I might as well just, I'm going to breed him just because he bred good. You look good. I ain't going to do that shit no more. And the next thing you know, we got a whole bunch of garbage running around coming off your yard. And a lot of those guys is going to have puppies that come off your yard. It's not going to turn out to be shit. That's why we see so many of these new pedigrees that y'all want to color up with these excuses of why they colored up, changing the fact that because they're not doing shit. You want to blind the game with all your colors because when you look at the pedigree for what it really is, and you put the puzzle together, you got a whole pedigree of nothing. And they ain't done nothing, but just kept being bred. Nothing. Way back there in about the 5th, 6th generation, it looked good, but that's where it started. That's where you started at. And then everything after that, nothing. You still bragging about them first 4 or 5 generations that you bought off the dog, when you bought the dogs and put them together. Because everything after that ain't proved to be shit. How long did that shit last? It don't last long because if your dogs ain't shit, we don't talk about them and you fade away. And nobody gonna keep going and buying garbage from a person that they can't get nothing out of. Especially when they start falling into those type of people's hands like me. They fall into my hands, you already know your yard is gonna be tested because if it don't work, it don't work. I made breedings that didn't work, coming right off of champions, coming off of dogs that produce champions. So, everything just don't work. But you try to get rid of the trash as much as you possible, because that saves you dog food. It will save you time. I feed nothing or nobody. Give me a prospect. That prospect, believe me, they all become prospects to be tested. They all can't make the team. But at least let me have game yard. Games. It's the key to me. And I can't understand, how do you pull that when so many of you guys are not relying on games anymore? You're relying, like you said, he clearly said it, on looks. You know what I'm saying? How he look. How he shake the flirt pole or work out. Confirmation looking great. But what standard is that for? Confirmation. I think weight pulling could show you a lot of gameness. You know what I mean? When it really get down to the get down, but it's a different type of gameness. See, there's no life on the line pulling a weight. Your drive is not your gameness, because we can train drive. We can't train. We can't make a dog game. He got to be in him to be game. Drive and gameness is two different things to a trainer, especially me. I build drive. Can't build gameness. Gameness is just what it is. Game. You know what I'm saying, fellas? So with that note, if we still got some questions, I'm gonna read some of this. So I have to step back here. Just talk here about something. Hold on, guys. I'm reading some of y'all chat. Y'all rocking, so I'm trying to keep up. Nick Cage says, just like the Frenchie and the exotic bully game. Just look like you're about something and you worth big money. It's slowly coming into the bulldog world. And you are right. Slowly? Nick, I would have to disagree with the slowly part. This is more than slow. It's been boarded. Like I said, it's gotten so bad that the dog men, the hunters, are becoming breeders. And said, damn, I'm taking the chance. And they can sit back and just breed they shit. Get into their little small circles. And like I said, everybody is a champion these days. Regardless whether you're a local champion, you're a neighborhood champion, or are you truly a circuit champion? Champion has been totally misconstrued in the bulldog world, and that's bad enough. It's bad enough because there's nothing wrong with being a 3-time winner. Yes, that is the definition of a champion, but that's only given when there's a champion just being, like I said, just being by a sanction, self-proclaimed champion under the definition of 3-time winner under a sanctioned body would be considered a champion. And not taking that away from you. But your champions are not. So in a sanctioning body as myself, I would not accept sharing a sanctioned champion with a 3-time winner. It's not sanctioned. God need to sanction them, and you better figure out how to get it done. Because the time and the movement is going back to being sanctioned champions. And the fight is going to be, we're not sharing with 3-time winners. You're not a sanctioned champion, then you're not a champion. You're a 3-time winner. Remember, I'm changing certain things. Listen to what I'm changing. Listen to what I'm saying. I was doing it back then, and I was doing it in in the past of where y'all are at. In your past, I would literally be changing those things that you hear me consistently arguing to change. Because we have to move with the times of the past to move forward. In the times of the past, we are called for things that really make sense now. They only make sense now. Dogs deserve their championships. Deserve them. They should get them if they have a confirmation that a sanctioning body can confirm and honor. That's what a sanctioned body does. They don't sanction dog fights. They don't promote dog fights. They don't do none of that shit. It's nothing but a book of records pertaining to some fictional events of the past. It's the past. Don't know when, don't know where. But based on the sanctioning rules, this dog is considered a champion. Historical Book of Records, grand champion, champion, producer of record, all of them. It's nothing more than that. Not against the law. Things that I would see is just being done different with the Book of Records is they're not opening them to the public. Not open to the public. It's only open to the fraternity. You know, guys made champion. They get their certificates being a champion. Historical Book of Records champion. And then when he can take that champion, what he does with it, it's up to him. It's up to him to put it out there. It's not up to us. He can put his kennel on it and everything. It's his business. But at least he understands that he can do it and say that he is under a sanctioning body with a certificate that says that he's under a sanctioned body, a champion. And you get enough of those, they're not going to want to share that spot with a 3-time winner. These guys that you won 3 and you claim you a 3-time winner, you would go through the sanctioning body. And you should know who you won. And if it can be verified, you would be granted that. And that goes for even those of the past. If they can garner the historical past, remember, it's still all fictional. But the fictional story had to at one time exist, and that's the way you verify the stories. Because at one time it was a story. And if it was a story, and it's a good fictional story, then it deserves the credits. And if it deserves the credits of being a champion, then it would be recorded under a sanctioned body that granted him that certificate of his championship, or of his registered merit, or of his grand championship. There's no more such thing as putting out anything other than a good dog. It's not meant for the public. I told you, never have been. We're pushing the Book of Records for just exactly what it is. Not meant for the public. It never have been. But we cannot continue to be running around here with dogs that are calling themselves champions and just keeping it real, fellas. I'm being 100% real because you don't have a sanctioned body, yet you feel like you have the right to do that, but you do, guys, but there's no sanctioned body to a champion. There's not your self-proclaimed champion, even though you've done your part, yet you got witnesses, then you need to get them to a sanctioned body to get the proper sanctioning that you deserve to become a champion. You have a body out there that's willing to do that for you. Doesn't put you in jail because what are they going to put you in jail for? Not open to the public. It's only for the purpose of sanctioning a true champion, grand champion, or registered mare. What you do with those is up to you. Not meant for us to put it out there to show the world. Those days we don't want to do. It's a body that just covers fictional events. And if your fictional event is honored, then you can get your certificate. And what you do with that certificate, like I said, you're not going to want to share your champion with a self-made champion, even though they may have, whereas the pudding, and if they did, why didn't you get it registered? Because it's the two different champions now we got out here. And it's going to grow, and it's going to fix a lot of this bullshit. Because now we're getting back into crossing T's and dotting I's. And they're not putting it out there for everybody to see. They're only putting out there what's only deserved to see, and those are the ones that's honored by receiving their championships or their grand championships under a sanctioned body that we have been lacking for years. And it's needed to be brought to the forefront. Registered merits and all. This is how we solidify what we are losing. Because anybody can be a champion out here, guys. A lot of these dogs are just, like you see, everybody's in a circle. Where's the power in a circle if the circle is not strong? The games and the standards, it's all being tested by the things that I'm saying to y'all right now. I'm going back into my thing and reading again. Pelican Bay, what's up, baby? You know I'm gonna holler at you again. I see you over there talking that game and shit. It's all about the GAMENESS. You damn right. It's all about the GAMENESS. Pelican Bay, you know you're my boy. You know I'm hollering at you because it's all about the GAMENESS. They don't understand the deepness of that game when you say that. There is no standards to GAMENESS to explain this to them. We're not talking about drive. We're talking about that heart. GAMENESS. James Jones says, dudes is afraid to call because they paid so much for a puppy and can't afford to put the investment in the ground. So you rather cheat us. You would rather pass the bullshit to the unknown. What did that make you? No, James Jones, I'm not talking to you. You know that. Come on. I'm not talking to James Jones. I'm just saying, listen to what he said, and I'm telling you, he's right. So let's talk about that part. They done spent all this money, and they don't want to lose their investment. So what you think they're going to do? They don't want to put it in the ground. So what you think they're going to do with it? Like he said. They're so afraid they don't want to know the truth. But guess what they're willing to do, though? They're willing to take that damn dog and breed him, lie on him, make him something that he ain't. Bullshit they sell to. They blind enough to the point that they start believing this shit. Then they start getting y'all to believe into that shit. And this is where we at. This is why we got so many of these champions. And we got these champions that when we called on them, to, look, you can be in the book of records. Yet when it comes to you coming up with the proof that you need, you can't give it. But you want to put it in there to be a champion, but there's nothing on that, so you go back to being the self-proclaimed champion. But it's going to come a point where that shit's going to fall to the wayside, my friends. Because y'all going to be understanding what a certified sanctioned champion is. You'll be more comfortable about breeding to it Because at least you know it's more of a truth there than that self-proclaimed shit. So why I'm kind of constantly tell y'all to get on the movement. It's not made for your fake shit anyway. If you was worrying about security and all that, there's never been a security issue because there's nothing to be secure from. It's nothing illegal we're doing. Nothing. It's not meant for the public. It's not a public publication. It's a historical book of records that sanctions the certification of champions and grand champions and register of marriage, which is considered to us all fictional events because we have no factual events of anything happening. And because of that, it's not meant for the public. It's meant for the sole owners who's reporting these reports. These are events of the past. If you have anything to the past, that is the eventful past, we don't know when, we don't know where, we don't know nothing about it, but it's an event. And those events will be recorded. Because everybody heard the story. And most people that heard the story know the story, then there's enough storytelling that said, yeah, he was legit in his story. Doesn't make it a fact. It just makes it a legible story to believe. So you understand what I'm saying? You need to get on board. We need to step up, fellas. It's getting down to that. You know what I'm saying? Did you hear me talking shit about these champions? People get mad when I say that, but it's the truth. Let me see you pull up one boxer to jump out there and put him a belt on and think he gonna stand up there with the real WBO or the WBA champion and claim he just as much a champion as they are. He's 20-0 too. He got his own belt. He made himself a champion. He's 20-0. Ain't be nobody over there with them belts.
Jake Paul.
Yeah, Jake Paul. Jake Paul. And put his own belt on. He champion of the world. And think he can stand there up against some real WBOs or WBAs. And under what body? He looks like a joke, right? Compared to those. What do you think you guys are going to look like? And because you don't have one right now, you do. You know, and it's going to grow. And people are going to be safe because they're going to at least know that there's any partial truth to those that can sit out there and advertise their dogs as, you know, definitely HBR. Sanctioned champions, they're no longer a 3-time winner. They can literally call their dog a sanctioned champion. Because under what belt, what body? Like the WBO, we got the HBR. In the HBR, you have a list of greatness. You won't have a list of stories, but it'd be a record to be kept. And as your dogs win, they get their shows, they get their credits. And that's and it's something that, listen to me, it takes it a minute, but it doesn't take it long because it's needed and guys want it. They're not the guys who are making champions are not liking the sharing champions with the fake champions. You know, and and at the same time they're all proclaiming they're all champions. And a lot of these dogs got enough background that they can go in there easily, become champions because there's verifiable stories that they can verify that they are champions. And those right there will be recorded as champions. There will not be no chopping off their heads or anything like that. There are requirements that if you want to register you're a 3-time winner to be a champion, then you will send in the necessary information to do that. And you will get a certificate. And then what you do with that certificate as that certified champion is whatever. You the one opening up the door. If you want to put your champion out there as a true champion with your kennel name, you have all process. Because that's your work, your business, and that's why it's not open to the public. The only ones that get champion or and that champion renowned or that winner's renowned are the guys who's gonna hit those levels. It's not gonna be an open channel for everybody to have a book to read and talk about because it's not there. It's not there for these guys. It's not meant for that no more. But they are deserving of being sanctioned champions under the guidelines. And that's what we're shooting for. Yeah, what you want me to say, Mike? Graduate say, Patrick Bear, are you doing a video on the Whitley Robinson lines? Hey, Patrick Bear, let me know because I was going to throw some shit on that myself. You know what I mean? I got a little swing of that on myself on Mr. Whitley. You know, y'all would be surprised on the things that we all had in common back then. Remember, I started in North Carolina. So a lot of things going on. I knew the Robinsons. I've been to their home and we did, you know, in my days, when it was my younger years, you know, I actually did some dogs on there with them. I had them snooty dogs. I had Smeller's son. I had dogs coming right off of Molly B and them, you know, so I'm in the Carolinas. You know, I bred the Angels Apache. You know what I mean? The likeness of, you know, Ornello, remember Rick Ornello? Rick Ornello was the one who had the Goldie, the Jeep bitch I had. So in my little connection, you're going to see how the connection was a lot closer, guys, when it comes to Mr. Whitley and the dogs that he was coming into, the concept and the thinking. You will see. Going hard is always a part of that. If it was something great and good, going hard, you're going to be surprised on what we had in common. We had a lot in common with my foundation of the Going Hard dogs. You're going to be real surprised when you see the connection. And knowing the connection, knowing that I bred to Angels Apache and didn't ever have those puppies. But you, so, hey, I was going to do one on him because he's gone. And I want to bring a little light to what he was to the game. You know what I mean? A lot of guys talk about him, you know, and they did have their share of winners. A lot of them did get reported, you know, and the ones that needed reported, they did report because he did report. You might not see a barrage like he STP or anything like that. But one thing you have to understand when it comes to Mr. Whitney and his dogs. And I can say this because I had that type of dog. Why you see so many of them, they might not be champions and all that kind of great shit, but one damn thing I can guarantee y'all, the dogs was game as hell. They might not have the ability. Some of them had the mouth or lacked the ability, but one thing they had. Known for. That's why he's something. That's why we're talking about him. Vernon Whitley. We're talking about him because he's legendary to talk about. If he wasn't shit, we wouldn't be talking about it. So now we're talking about it. Mr. Whitley had game-ass dogs. Everybody will tell you that. They might not have been great dogs. But I can tell you one thing. If they was being bred, they was game as shit. And I will prove that by using my own line to prove it. That's what I want to know. I want to do a show on it. And I'm going to do a show on it. It'll probably be next Friday when I do it. I'm going to pull up his dogs and I'm going to show you the connection between Going Hard and Mr. Whitley and their dogs. And then you're going to see another thing. The concept and the way they were thinking, it was like we're doing the same thing with different dogs, but the same aspect of what we were thinking, same thing. And when I can sit there and look at what I did, and this man, to me, still bigger than me, a legend to me too. I would bow my damn head too, because he's been around all greatness. All greatness. And his line of dogs spoke for themselves when it came to gameness. Not great dogs we talk about, but he was one thing known for. And I can tell you, I can vouch and do my confirmation that he has some fucking bad game-ass dogs. And that's just the bottom line. And I would love to do a show on him. Pelican Bay, you know that y'all South Carolina boys, y'all know what's up. But I you know, there's a connection, like there's a connection in that too. Yes, why? Because I'm that guy that was really part of a nucleus and had put my antennas in that shit. It was like one of them damn spooky shows that you watch where he just stick his arm out and everything just got arms going anywhere. Just picking up all the information and bringing it back and built me into a badass motherfucker. Remember, I don't gotta have somebody brag about me. I'm real confident in what I learned. Confident in what I did. You know what I'm saying? If I feel that good about me, then it makes me even feel better when y'all see it. If I wasn't shit, I wouldn't be sitting here. So I'm real confident, and you should be the same way. When you hit to the plateau that I felt like as I hit, when I'm nothing to none of the guys that I talk about. I never reached the plateau of them. But I reached the plateau to the point that I know I am a book worth of information. And I'm Dog Man who had a chance to give you a story on a hell of a ride. You know what I mean? I'm like a LeBron James story on the wrong side of the fence. You know what I mean? I didn't make the big impact on the NBA in my neighborhood, but I made an impact of wherever the fuck I went with my damn dogs. Yes, I did. I made an impact that I could sit here behind this desk and by fact alone, knowing I know what the hell I'm talking about, by fact alone, y'all show me I know what the hell I'm talking about. Because I already know I feel like I have something to talk about. I already know I know what I'm talking about. That's why I'm telling y'all. So I'm confident in what I'm telling y'all. I can stand behind what I'm telling y'all. And a lot of you guys out there have did your own confirmation to find out. That's why you come back. And that's why we have the listeners and the viewers and the people who stands up with me. I just need more of you guys to really understand. It doesn't take much to hit a like button to show your appreciation. You know what I mean? Because if you like it, you like it. You know, we always have 1,000 views, but we don't really have a lot of likes. That means we're getting the viewers, but you know, you guys just, you know, I know by the time y'all get done going through that shit, you know, the last thing y'all do is you want to move to something else. But, you know, if you really appreciate it, if you really, really appreciate it, and you don't want to put a dime to it, but you want to absorb it, and you really want to be true to the game, be true to me. Be true to me and just hit the like. That's the easiest thing, most simplest thing you can do outside of subscribing, because why wouldn't you subscribe and want to come back for more? It's free. And the realest shit that you're going to get in this game has been coming out my mouth. And I know that. I have many people telling me that, even people who got great podcasts. And you know, when I have the big boys like to come by and visit me, I feel honored and proud, because it only solidifies the stories that I tell y'all and why I end up in the situations and the places that I've been. By being real about what I've learned by the realest people that gave it to me. As long as I'm keeping it real with y'all, look at the attention I'm getting from guys that's far out there. Everybody really look at to come in and actually stand with me and support me. So even y'all should be honored because it wouldn't have never happened without y'all. You understand what I'm saying, fellas? So I appreciate it. Hats off. You know, I won't even throw a couple strongholds up in there, okay? Let's see, we're talking about Mr. Whitley. He said, Rubber City say, but to be honest, it's 55 boxing it's 55 boxing bodies champions everywhere at the same weight class. Ben Brockton say, funny how twins saying the same thing, but y'all get the feeling hurt by BB. The funny twins saying the same thing, but your feelings get hurt by BB. I don't know who BB is, but whatever. Ben Brockton. Ben Brockton, what you mean, man? They be getting mad when you say it. Ben Brockton, they be getting mad when you say it. They can't stand the truth. Maybe they can't handle the truth. I mean, I'm only speaking the truth. I don't understand. Why would they get mad at you when you speaking the truth? You know what I mean? You might have a funny way of saying the truth, you know, to get under people's skin. You know, I had that way too. And believe me, I know my attitude is definitely worse than yours. I've dealt with you, and you're a pretty good dude. You only try to tell the truth and be the truth. Sometimes you fall off that base when we may not agree. But in the same aspect, you know, my point is to be made, and it's to be made clear if it ain't right, you know, to you. But you're right about that part right there. Why would they get mad at you for being, if you saying the same thing I'm saying? You know, maybe they don't like your personality and they like mine. But it ain't changing the fact that you saying the same thing that I'm saying and what you would be the truth. So how y'all gonna get mad at Mr. Brockington when he's telling y'all the truth? If it's coming out of my mouth, the only thing that can be different is the way he's saying it or the way you feel like you can't give a man the necessary respect for hearing the truth. You don't want to hear the truth from somebody like him. Or you feel downgraded or humiliated when a person like Mr. Brockton can sit there and say it and you get mad. But when I say it, you know, it seems like you want to understand. If we're saying the same thing, maybe it's the way we present it. Because sometimes I can say shit to piss people off. And I'm telling them the truth, but sometimes it's just the way I say it. You know, and you know, I don't hide from the fact because I'm a dog man. And what kind of fucking attitude do you expect from a motherfucker like me anyway? Really? You know, but it's all supposed to be all good though. All in the game, right? So, I mean, I ain't gonna get mad at you unless you say something, you know, that if it gets under my skin, you know how we do. We gonna say something, and we gonna say something whether you like it or not. And be ready to go to the box because we're that competitor. Mr. Brockington, you are a competitive person, and they have to accept you for the dog man that you are. Period means period. Speak the truth, accept the truth. You can't make them all happy, so fuck them. Just keep speaking the truth. It's very important that you maintain telling the truth whether they like it or not. And I'm 100% with you. Tell me and I'll stand with you. Shit. Just like I just did. Frederick, I can definitely do it. I got to research his story in line. I'm not really familiar with, you're not really familiar with it. While you're doing your research, go over there and play around in my line. You'll find them all up in there. They were some real good dogs. And there's basically the dogs that y'all know your South Carolina dog man dealt with.
North Carolina?
And North Carolina. They really was all in the same thing. You're going to see that the Going Hard Foundation, the main bitch, Going Hard Amber, every bit of Whitney dog, coming from the same line. The exact same dogs. And I told you that was my foundation to the Going Hard dogs. So like I said, the understanding, and what did I say about her? You couldn't find him no game, and watch what they say about his. And we're still talking about the same line of dogs. I mean, I say the same line, I'm talking about line. These are the exact same. These dogs are litter mates. Litter mates. So when we talk about them dogs, when we talked about the Whitney dog, there's a lot I would be able to show y'all and tell you within the lines that he was doing and why they were not so like, champions flooding the waves. He had good dogs to make it, but not a lot of champions. But a lot of gameness was in them dogs. I messed up with the right shit at work. I got some of it. The foundation of my yard. And how did I find her? I found her getting picked up in a match. And it wasn't me, it was my boy. Yeah. That's right. Going into a dog going for the championship, made champion owner, a great dog. But could not stop her. And why let her go down and stay down like that if you ain't trying to get her? We'll pay that bill and get her. And that's a Whitney dog. As a matter of fact, what I would call it a Whitney line that he was using. That Going Hard got their hands on. The foundation to the Going Hard dogs is the same foundation that Mr. Whitney was working on and working with. And why he was being so successful with the gameness of those dogs. And the same gameness that I can vouch for because I'm sitting there with the same shit that he was using and I built the Going Hard dogs off of. Funny to be said, but it's there to be proven. Okay. Eli says a lot of the old time from back in the days are not breeding. No, it's a new generation now. Some of the dog men here are from the 2000s. And now, so the game is not the same. It's a dog show now. You know what he called it? A dog show. And it is a dog show. I am in total agreement with him in the dog show. I mean, we see it on Twitter. We see it on Facebook. We see it on Pairs Online with the beautiful colors all over the pedigree. Ain't a winner on there, but he red. And a winner in that pedigree, but they all blue and pink. But y'all want to argue and say, what color make a difference? What color? It's the same reason your dog ain't gaming shit. It's the same reason you ain't winning. Because you faking the folk. You ain't facing the truth. You're trying to change the system to benefit something that's not real. And those are the only argument points that you have that will fall on deaf ears. It only works for those who's really fake as you. See, when the fake ones all get together, you got a little posse there now. Because there's a lot of you, there's more of y'all out there than the real. And the real is not going to say anything. Mike Jones said real champions would be known without the certificates in the limelight. Well, Mike Jones, have you ever had any champions? Because I never once had a champion that I tried to put out there for a limelight. I think I went out there and won my championship by getting out there kicking ass. So if there's something in that process of getting a certificate, damn right, I wanted a Sporting Dog Journal champion. I got a couple of them. Now, have you ever had your Sporting Dog Journal champion? Have you ever had any kind of other champion than a self-proclaimed champion? So when you speak that, let me make sure that you speak that understanding and got the experience to say that. And I'm looking for an answer. Because you can be a self-proclaimed champion, but you ain't no real champion. Now, I'm not going to compare your fake-ass shit to a goddamn Sporting Dog Journal champion that I got. You want to put the journal down because you ain't got one? You ain't got no standing certificate? They don't need to be the line life. I want to separate my shit from y'all fake asses. That's what it's about. That's where the certificate and the honor comes from dog men. So coming in with them weak ass excuses trying to get around the fact that that's all is what it's about. You got one to speak up on, because you said it. Now the question back at you, do you got a certified champion from any international sport or anything? Because if you don't, then you don't have the experience to sit there and tell us that shit. You don't know what it feels like to have one anyway. You know, the limelight. I didn't have no limelight when I was matching my dogs and kicking everybody's ass like I am. I can speak out here now and got all y'all in this damn room. It wasn't about no limelight then either. It just so happened to be I'm doing what I did, and that's how I got in the situation, the position that I am. Thank God for the journal. And that goes for every other well-known great dog that we can pick up and read back into the historical limelight, a history that would have been lost without it. Now, again, question is on you. All these wrong room. Because see, I like to talk to people that if you're real, you've been, I'm going through this chat and I know I just got done saying it, so I know you should have got it by now. Your finger should be typing something like what champion you had. Oh, you don't want nobody to know. You don't want to be in the limelight. Then that must be a self-proclaimed champion you don't want nobody to laugh about. Because then we're going to be wondering, you're going to be worried about us asking, well, who would he be? And all that other stuff. But you remember, you the one who brought it to the table. Because what you said is not true. It's only true when you don't want to face the truth. And the truth of the matter is we better off having certified champions. Fuck the limelight. I got a champion that's certified and I put it out there and then so what? Hater. It's not, I mean, that's what it is. It's hate. You can't get around it. You want to hate that when it's the best thing for the game? Then you're a hater. Because you ain't never had the experience to have when I asked them, and I expect an answer. You got to. Benny, a bad dog, a bad-ass dog going to be talked about. You're right. Bad-ass dog is worth talking about. Pelican Bay, you want me to go ahead, bro? I hope you be here to do it, man, because it's going to be enjoyable, man. You're going to be surprised, you know. Very many people don't really talk about great game dogs. But Vernon Whitley is known for having just straight game dogs, bro. I mean, it's called the Whitney line. You know, and it's surprising that, you know, that you have a line like that, you know, it has its shares of winners, but the man was known for having the most consistent gamers dogs you ever wanted to have. One thing was never in doubt with his dogs, and that was gameness. And I can honestly vouch for that shit because when we do the show, I'm going to show you the relationship to what he was doing after I show you who he was and what he was, his relationship to me and why I feel like it's probably what I saw back then when we had the opportunity to get that bitch out the box and then turn around and build from that bitch. Only bitch on the going hard pedigree, ADBA registered, is a bitch that's coming from a line that Mr. Whitley used. His strongest line. Damn near the exact same shit. The shit that I built my yard on. Mr. Whitney shit. His frame of thinking and mind. And why we ever got to that point that we seen that dog to be able to get her and pick her up out of a match. So yeah, I would love to do that story, and I appreciate the step aside, but I want you there with me so you can see this shit because it'd be real interesting because it has a lot to do with the South Carolina dogs too. You're gonna be real surprised when you see, you know, when I put it together and you see what it looks like. All South Carolina's really the Carolinas, period. It's really all the Carolina dogs. Okay, Ben Brockett and Jack made it 3 to get a title. Lim made it 4 to get a title. Lim had better standards for his magazine. Yep, Lim had better standards for the magazine because times had changed. See, we could not share the all whims. You know, that was the thing. The ROMs. You know, the ROMs going to the males and the way they were being separated to the females. That was why the issue changed, because the males were getting bred more than females having puppies. That's why it became 4 in the Sporting Dog Journal. It didn't have nothing to do with standards. It really didn't have anything to do with standards for the Sporting Dog Journal. You know, it was still political however he did it. But the actual reason that, you know, the Sporting Dog Journal moved the males up to 4 was because of the fact that their breedings in the register males counted upon. Males had to have 4. And kind of winning 3, you know, like you said with Lim looking for more, it doesn't make a difference what you got to win 4. It's hard enough to win 3. So just because he wanted to bring 4 doesn't change the standards of the fact that the dog's winning 4 matches, because it was already hard enough to win 3. You know, there's not a lot of dogs out there that can win 3. It didn't change the fact that whether Lim had it at 4, it didn't mean that their dogs were better or their champions were better. It didn't mean that. It meant, you know, that's what he chose to have his sanction under. And if you choose to be under that sanction, it wouldn't have never changed if you would have got a certificate over there. If it was me, HBR, you would just have 2 championship certificates, because we would register you too, under 3. But you can go over there and get 4. You can come over here and get 3. It doesn't change the body on what's being sanctioned to them. You can have your own, don't mean nothing. It doesn't change the standards of the dogs whatsoever. It's a self-proclaimed standard that they want to uphold for their titles. Just like I have my self-proclaimed that I'm going to stand by and go by when it comes to pertaining to dogs making champions and grand champions and all of them. Going to stay around the lanes, basically same line of what it's always been. You know, even with the POR, where POR was never part of the journal, it's a part of the damn book of records. So to me, it's just a bottom line issue that has nothing to do with the standards. The standards are proven in the box. It's not proven on a scratch paper. All right, Pelican Bay, you already know it, baby boy. I'm gonna do that, man. I'm gonna try to do it next Friday. Cause Tuesday, yo, Black Ice, we're gonna have Black Ice on the show. So Black Ice is gonna be on the show Tuesday, y'all. You know, it's time for me to cut him loose. He got some shit to say. So you know, I'm gonna have him on Tuesday. He's always been welcome, and he will continue to be welcome. And he wants to come back and join the show, and I'm inviting him to do so. So that's going to be a pretty interesting show. And then Mike Jones, you said a good thing right there. You said 3 is good in your eyes. It's hard to win 3 in your neck of the woods. Mike Jones, it's hard to win 3, period. It really is. I mean, when you putting them out there against good dogs, it's hard to win 3. It's even harder going under the standards of making grand champion. That somewhere in there before you make grand champion, then you either have to see at least a champion or pick up a 2 for the recognition of a certain dog to make grand champion. See, that's a rule that I think should stay and should be enforced. I think all grand champions should meet a champion. Champion on champion, if you didn't beat a champion in your career, then you have no problem making grand champion if you beat a champion in your career. You might have beat him in number 1, you might have beat him in number 2, you might beat him in number 3, You know, your story might be, well, wherever you place that champion win, you qualify if you win 5 to be a grand champion. But I think that's a standard that should stay in place, and it will be in place over here on our end. There should not be no grand champions out there not beating some type of a champion. I think that's fair. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say, you know, I would call a champion a 5-time winner. And why is he a 5-time winner instead of a grand champion? Because he won 5, but he didn't beat a champion. In them 5, he never went into a champion. Grand champions is something that should be honored at the highest degree. I think it's hard to win 3. Put a champion in the midst of that 5 and go hunting. There's gonna be a lot of you guys out there that might have a 3-time winner, and now you got to go hunting because you see 2 more enemies, and one of those got to be a champion. Then it's gonna change the look at things on what you really got. That's why we got a lot of 3-time winners and 1-time losers. Keep it real. Thanks for the roses there, Frederick. Thanks for the priest, twin. Frederick threw some roses and he told me to preach. Thank you, sir. I'm trying, baby. I'm trying. Thank you. Paris say it's just so different from the 80s and 90s, and even in the early 2000s till now. You know why? You know why? Because when I say the game took a hit, guys, we lost bloodlines. Dogs that was working back then, Champion Chino. I mean, I could just name so many different crosses just evaporated. All because the shutdown of the people who was really making it work. The people who was really making it work was the dog man who was using those dogs. When we took the hit, wiped out whole bloodlines. Match dogs. Possibilities of great things being done with them. Them going to jail, can't breed a dog in prison. Killing the dogs off when you confiscate them, can't do nothing about it once they dead. Wiping out a whole line. Thank God the dogs that I got out there are still out there because the major things that they took from me, they killed. So going hard line is definitely out there, but it's definitely got my part, the closest that I had, was taken from me and killed. And you're right.
What we lost up there.
Mr. Brockington, thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Brockington. He said, thank you for trying to educate guys about the real history. He said the real history, because I'm part of that history. And I don't deny it because it's nothing to deny. And the only reason I can tell you a story, guys, of the greatest shit that I ever did, it's like I'm that kid from Akron. Akron, stand up. I have to keep on pushing my town, man, because we had a kid get killed out there. We had a kid get killed out there. My best friend in high school, we wrestled. He killed his only son. So I stand up for Akron, like I stand up for y'all. All right? That's why you see me with my Akron shit on. Akron strong. Game dog strong. Gameness strong. Bulldog strong. You know what I mean? Remember, man, you know your boy. You know your boy. That's why y'all got to maintain confidence in me. As long as y'all keep having confidence in me, I'm going to have confidence in me to believe in me. You know, yeah, it gets shaky sometimes because of my situation. But believe me, I feed off of y'all confidence, man. Y'all feed me more passion because I know y'all feel my passion to be riding with me. And when y'all ride with me, man, y'all bring so much to the show. The people y'all bringing. The real guys are starting to shy back and don't want everybody to know their business, they looking. Some of them starting to step up. You know, they sit back and look at me and they worry about me when I have to explain to them, trust me, because I ain't worried. And I got the kind of kahunas to show y'all I ain't worried because I'm putting it all out there. And I'm telling y'all, don't worry. And I'm going to keep on telling you because I'm not going to tell you nothing that's going to get you fucked up. And I sure ain't going to tell you nothing wrong. I'm not going to, if I make a mistake, I know how to apologize. If I'm wrong, I know how to fix it and retract or whatever. I can be nothing but real if I'm expecting real, right? That's why we stand in this together. We stand in this together. Don't care about everybody else and what they doing out there. Only worry about what's in this room because greatness will be built here. Because all them damn videos, there's greatness in them videos if you want to be great. If you want to be a legend, you better be a legend just like me when I never asked to be one. When I look back at my shit and know what and listen to what people say about me, it takes me to go back in there and say, oh, I did do that. I did do that. We had fun like a mother. I never thought about anything else. I didn't never think about no glamour or spotlight or none of that. It came because I was out there winning. I made crucial things happen in the game. I didn't shine the light shined on me. And I ain't no hater. I bring the shine, give it to me, and I won't let you down because I can shine on you and you and you and you and you to give y'all the opportunity that I had. I'm shining. Don't give a damn who looking. Because I'm going to make damn sure I can shine on you and keep all y'all safe. Because I don't have shit to lose. When I know what I'm talking about, I know what my right is as an American, especially one who's sitting here saying that I was a dog fighter and sitting out here telling y'all this and sitting out here explaining to y'all what I did. Now, that ain't a hard-ass scratching man. What you call him? A dog man. Dog man. Let me throw my disclaimer up again as I promote that part. The disclaimer. We got to keep reminding them. All you guys got to keep on reminding. We ain't do this. This is what we doing right here. So everything that I say and I do is still considered fictional. It's a fictional event, and we're going to keep on doing this, and I'm going to keep on saying this shit. I'm going to keep on driving this shit. I'm going to keep on pushing this shit, because this is what we're going to keep on saying when we do this, because we have a right to say it. I'm telling you, I got a right to tell y'all this shit. I ain't telling you nothing wrong. I ain't telling you to do anything wrong, but I have a right to tell y'all what I did. And I'm going to tell you what I did. I'm going to tell you what everybody else did. Because that's what made me who I am. You understand what I'm saying, fellas? And that's all I'm looking for y'all. Because we need them numbers to get big to take back what's been destroyed. The shores are being eroded at a fast pace. We have to hurry up. Hey, Mike Jones say, you game test them all. He said, you game test them all. Every damn one of them. And when one proves to be too good to get a fair look without going in too far, and when he means by that, when you got one that's just smashing up your best shit on the yard, you got to, look, he's beating up dogs that I want to take. So I got to stop putting them on him before he get all my good shit. I can't have him beating on my good shit. His abilities too well. I mean, look, Red Ace, we started putting males on her. But she was executing females. Shit, you know what I mean? I mean, we took her down to North Carolina and we put her on a bad bitch. And that was his pride and joy, his next great one. Man, look, that never did happen after that. We started putting her on males, big males. Dogs was bigger than her. You're trying to see her down. But yes, he's right. He is right. You take that dog out there and you take him off the chain, or go find somebody else who has a formidable opponent that he can go in there. He might have something that he's trying to look at. Don't be in a hurry to pick up when you didn't destroy everything on your yard. You know, always control what you want out of your dog. Don't put nothing on your dog that you can't go and fix up when you get home, and make it worth the time. Make it clear before you do it. Man, I need him put on a dog that you got promise on. You got one you getting ready to do something with? You want to take a look at? Go get that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Bring that motherfucker on in. That's what I would do. That's what I did. I bring that shit on in here. Because I got to get a good look. This is the only chance I get to do it free. Now, if I go in there and try to do some shit off the chain, to be honest, sometimes you be in a disadvantage because, see, when you go off the chain, guys that sit around, and I've seen these guys sit around and they look for off the chain because they're always keeping a conditioned dog on deck. And never going to an off the chain guy that you know sits around with a dog on deck because he's looking for those. And he gives you those weights because he knows you're coming up, but he's already ready. There's guys out there to play that role, so always be careful when you go looking for something off the chain. And remember, I said I can take him out there and put him on somebody by just telling them, man, you got somebody, one you trying to do. You know, and let's just do it. I mean, you know, some people didn't like going hard and bringing them killers through there because they didn't want me fucking up their yard, but there was some guys that was like, yeah, this is a good time for me to check my shit and see if I'm ready. I know I got a bitch. Yeah, I got one to go with your twin. Now, you know, I had my days where, you know what I mean, they wouldn't do that shit again. You know what I mean? Because I did it on my own yard. I know when I step off in the yard, I'm suspecting to tear up somebody's shit. There's a lot of people came to our yard to check their own dog. Hey, come on. They had a right to check them because they knew I had the dog to put on their ass. And they either went in disappointed or went home content that they at least didn't quit. And that's the truth. And they kept it real. And I always kept it real. And we had a nice time. A nice time. You know? I can tell a story about, I'm always bringing up Dum Dum because I always talk about the 11-month-old puppy. You know, they'll never get on there and tell you the story. I mean, because there's nobody there to write the story about it. But I would always say that, you know, I have a kennel that nobody really talks much about, you know, through the years. They might not be as great as they were, but they'll always be a great kennel to me, and it would be Deep South. Deep South is a kennel to me that's legendary. Whether y'all like it or not, you know, I don't know whether they're still winning or not, or none of that. Maybe they're retired. I don't know nothing about them except the fact that they should be part of, you know, everything. If y'all think I'm legendary, then they should be just as much, if not more than me. Because they did great things with the dogs. And they had a lot of adversities. Losing Twisted on a raid where they tried to clean up Dade County and took all those great dogs that they had. All because they didn't want no pits in Dade County. Gave them a chance, but it's hard to move dogs when, you know, there was so much value on that yard that they missed that. And they got caught. And they stood strong. They really did. I mean, they stayed strong. and tried to save their yard. Twisted all them. All these great dogs, Goofy Girl. All these great dogs. And thank God they were able to save something that wasn't there. But all the great ones, the ones that made them the Deep South that they was, like Champion Max and all them other great dogs you see coming off of them Deep South boys. They were able to survive because they weren't there. It so happened that they weren't there. They were already being moved. I had two of them, Max and Little May brother and sister, on my yard. Dum Dum, all them dogs came out later after they wiped them out. They wiped them out, took them all. It's a story to tell. And, I give my salute to them because they're like, there was a kennel that had a cousin that was like, in your family, that's my cousin, and they like, we're so close with family, that's the kennel that I would call my family. I give them just as much love as I give Stone City. I give them much as love as I give Hardcore. The only thing I can tell you about all them compared to them right there, we connected because we were still brothers in arms. That was the key. Our passion was just like everybody else's. We wanted to fucking win, and we didn't give a damn against who or what. And that was the funniest and the funnest thing about playing with those guys. It was never an issue, never a problem. We bred and we did things, man. And out of those things, I even got better dogs. So that would be my salute, squad, far as connecting to what real gameness look like and how do you build real gameness and breed real gameness. You call real hard and have no doubts on what you doing and what you keeping and what you feed. Ready to close this thing out. Let me see. Just A.Q. Henry says, just stick with the blood you like. Don't jump from bloodline to bloodline because you will still stay in the blind about the dog. Mr. Henry, you're so right. If they just stick to it and be honest about it. They got to be honest about it to themselves, not to all of us, to try to make it look good. He has to be honest that he's really fucking with the blood, and it's the right blood by knowing what you fucking with, not what you stuck with. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna be, you're only stuck if you don't want to face the truth. If you don't want to face the truth, then you're stuck with it. And you will live off a lie. And your dogs won't be nothing. And they'll be selling a bunch of fake ass dogs to people just trying to do something with them. And it just turns into a mess like it is now. It says, Eli say, I feel train all your hounds for any kind of situation he or she may fall into. There'd be so many situations they may fall into that you will never have enough situations. You can there are a lot of situations, you'll always find yourself running into a situation you didn't train for. Let your dog be the product. Don't look for situations, learn your dog. If you learn your dog, you can get the best quality out of your dog, whether you're training your dog or watching your dog. The best thing you can do for your dog is just know your dog. And believe in your dog. Mike Jones said, I disagree with that. I feed a variety. There's a tool for every job and good dogs in a lot of different families. And he's right. I have Eli crosses, Red Boy hounds, a couple crosses with those different traits and qualities. And because it's working for you. And as long as it's working for you, that's your truth. And you know what I'm saying? And you believe that, and that's how you ride. And ain't nothing wrong with what you said, you know? And you choose to disagree with old dude, but the way you disagreeing, it's not really a disagreement. It's an understanding to the boil down of the simple truth. And that's all you did. I got this, I got that, I got this, I use a couple of this. You know what I mean? I use several bloodlines, whatever the one fucking work. That's the bottom line to it. That's what you said, basically. So yeah, when you disagree with it, there's a disagreement only in the fact sticking to one bloodline compared to your variety. You know what I'm saying? When they're saying stick to you're saying no, stick to whatever's gonna work for you. And I'd rather make your point than the other point, even though it made sense, about stick to your blood. It was in the same aspect, you know, you had several, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? You gotta work with that right there. Yeah, you can have several to make it work. I mean, that Going Hard Dogs got several lines up in it that we went after to build what we got, and it took several lines to do it. You know, it's still what worked. You know what I mean? So in the aspect, you're right, and then the aspect in both cases, but just a point in the bottom line. He's being more direct. Mike Jones, you being more direct with it. You know, the bottom line. You know, you play around the bottom line because you understand the bottom line. My thing is the experience of the bottom line. And the results of your experience is what I be wanting to know. Because you speak a lot of truth, and you do. You know what I mean? And I always say that to you, because I always say, I know a dog man when I see one. Okay? And I'm going to always pick on you because, you know, I am a dog man. So I really appreciate you still coming around, hanging out with me. You know we're going to always do this. You know, I love you too, bro, because you bring that edge, because you have a way of speaking things. Sometimes we don't agree, but one thing we always do, we always make sure it's clear to disagree, and I disagree like two dog mans that do. You know what I mean? We just don't just boil down and throw a weight out there because we don't have to do that on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So I enjoy the back and forth because it never meant no harm. You know, like I said, guys, y'all know how I am, and with no due respect, you know, I'm still scratching out of a corner. And you can't take my scratches, get picked up, and mean, you know, we can still shake hands after the show. You know how that go. You know, we still friends even when you lose or win. You know, we still shake hands. So if the heat get deep, you know, it's all right to get picked up, and I'll still shake your hand at the end. So if I come hard, it's because I'm going hard. As long as you know that I respect all you guys and I love all you guys, because you don't have to be here. And I'm going to always remind you, regardless of how I get and how I act, I love and appreciate everybody that comes in this room and everybody that's put me in a situation to tell you my story. You know what I mean? And share it with you guys. And I hope like hell you all having an enjoying time listening and learning. You know what I mean? You can't ask for more than that from this guy here. Y'all know everything. You know, so I salute y'all. You know what I mean? Because you always saluting me. That goes for Mike Jones, Ben, you know, Nick Cage, Provocative Bully, We Hut, Denny. You know, I'm just running off these are my main team. Jay Mason, you know, Pit 07, Pelican Bay, Frank Rizzo, Frederick, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I could just run names. It's like my whole room is just Eli, Mr. Henry. I mean, my whole room is guys that I've seen. Very, very few new ones. So I can sit down and read all these names, and these guys mean something to this room. They are the connection of Going Hard that spread this going on out here. Guys, we got 48 videos and we know 8 of them are short. So we got like 40 videos. And then them 40 videos, there's a whole lot of dog shit in there that you can sit back and really do a book on. If you are a young dog, man, and really want to know the game, you need to go back and just start from book 1 and just let it play through. You know, there's guys out there that say they binge watch. They didn't see these videos, but they'll go back and binge watch a whole couple of videos because they know. They say I always miss something you say. That's why I always go back to make sure I don't miss shit you say. And that's a lot to say to me. It's a lot to say to me. And as long as y'all keep saying it to me, I'm gonna keep the real shit straight. Vinny saying, I don't see what the problem is just calling your dog a 4-time winner or a 9-time winner. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't see it either, Vinny. I don't see it either, Vinny. That's just a great achievement. I would still breed to him. I wasn't breed to him because he's more true to the game. You know, he's not going to sit there and call his dog something that he's not. Now, he'd be the one that I would be trying to get, look, man, give me the information. And if it's legit, you don't have to call him a 4-time winner. Because there's a sanction out there to believe in you guys deserving to be titled for real. Remember, this is not to be out here and putting all y'all reports out there because it's not open to the public. It's a book of records that I keep talking about, you guys. And in that book of records, it is not something that's open. It's only there to, as a sanctioned body, to certify dogs and their accolades under a sanctioned body. Okay, that's all it is. Brock said, Vinny gets the gold star for that one. Yes, you do, Vinny. Now, y'all guys is really on some shit. You better charge your shit up, man. Hey, respect to you there, Mike Jones. Thank you. You're the one. I'm throwing shout out to you. I don't need your shout out back, baby. I just need you to continue doing what you do. That's it. Thank you. Salute. All day, all the time, bro. Thank you. And let it be known as the game grows. The unseen, you cannot hide. Your greatness will not let you hide. Your success will always be noticed. You don't need a limelight, you need a time light. Because in time, there's going to be a light, regardless of whether you want it to be there or not. If your greatness is going to shine, it's going to shine unwillingly without you. Because greatness cannot stop being unseen. It just doesn't. It is fuck. You're trying to keep it all to yourself. As long as he's out there knocking off people with that shit, you're going to become history. Especially when you do it enough. Especially when you do it enough. And you're making a point. And it's becoming an impact. You know, a secret goes real far when it's a great secret. And you can never keep a great secret quiet. So guys, stop hiding. Stop hiding. Be careful, but stop hiding. It's not meant for us to put your business out there because it's not their business to know. It's your business to do whatever you want when you become your champion. It's our business to make sure we got legit champions out here. And those champions that need to be titled as champions, we're giving them an opportunity to get their championships certified. Once their championships are certified, they will get their certified championship. And it does matter. It does matter. It means everything because at least you knowing that when you got a recognized champion coming out there, regardless whether it's fake or not, that is not the point. Because one thing for sure, we're going to verify. If we can't, we're giving you a chance. Because a lot of these guys are saying this, they're saying it, but They can't remember shit. You know, so I mean, but I can't get Jimmy or John or Johnny or Davey or anybody else in your sector. Nobody but you know the story. Then you will not meet the requirements. That's just how it's going to be. That's why it's important for us to have these memberships, because they play a major factor in the decisions that are made, because these are the people that has the opportunity that they can be there to verify what is being said and what is being done. You know, they got the power to say yes or no. And that's where we stand behind them. This is where us as the fraternity will stand together. Guys, so that's why it's important to support it. You know, you want to support something that belongs to us, that we deserve. The only way we're going to build the strength back up to get the network back to going and shut down some of these private holes and lock up some of this loose shit that's getting out here that's spoiling and poisoning. All right? I'm ready, Mike.
Good show tonight, right? Hopefully we already got a good understanding of the gameness. Not just for the dogs, but the beholders of these dogs.
Mm-hmm.
The dog is just as game as the damn beholder of the dog. I'm gonna leave it like this. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Muscles, muscles, muscles.
You know that.
Roses, roses. Give me the damn roses.
I ain't got my phone to check. But yeah, fellas, I think it was a good show. Again, don't hit the likes. Please step in. Give me comments. Show me or tell me what we can do to make things better. Give us more content to talk about. Hey, we all have things going on out here. As long as we all understand it's important for us to stay safe. And as a unit, stand together. The only way we can stay strong to be strong. I like to holler at Pelican Bay, 7-8, Prawn Gang, Fat Bill. All you guys out there, man, hey, yo, y'all got this platform to stand on. You know what I'm saying? Over here, we dogging the dog, we build dogging, all right? We're not trying to change any of y'all world, but we're trying to bring these worlds together. You know what I mean? That's the only way we're going to become one. It's the only way we become one. Everybody got their own thing. Everybody do their own thing, but I want to support everybody. I can't support all bodies, but I can support everybody. You know what I mean? So I like to shout out to my boys. These are my big brothers, 7-8, Sports TV, Big Brother, Pelican Bay. You've been around out there. Definitely big brothers. You know what I mean? Definitely. Due all respect. Fat Bill. Due respect. Mr. Richard Garcia stopping in, throwing that little love to me. Much respect. You understand what I mean? All the time. Prawn Game, thank you for waking up the beast. You always be remembered by that, and I always appreciate you for that. So, shout out to you. Salute. And then to you guys. You guys are the key. You are the reason. You are the reason. All right? So you got every right today to get your hands up in there, and we're going to scrap for y'all now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's about the gameness. We breed in gameness because we're going to make gameness become a reality.
It's out there.
It's out there. We just got to build on it.
Got to build on it.
And the only way we can do it, we got to topple over the fake shit that's taking over.
Put that bullshit to the test, man.
You got to stand behind me, fellas, and put forth that effort, man, and believe in what I'm telling you. I'm putting it all out there. You can support it. You can appreciate it and you can respect it.
For you newbies, start at the very first video of the yard. You work your way to the front. Guarantee you by the time you get to this point right here, it's all gonna make sense. But to the rest of the crew and the fam, y'all know y'all, the ones been there since day one. We love you, appreciate you. Always gonna give you that love, you know what I'm saying? But y'all make sure y'all keep throwing them roses. Y'all keep making sure y'all throw up the muscles. Y'all already know how we do this. But always remember how we do this now.
Oh yeah.
We've been doing this from day one. Day one. Y'all know how we come up out of here.
We already know how we gonna come out of here.
How we coming up out of here,
man. Money guaranteed, baby.
Guaranteed, baby.
You know you're going to send me over to get the bag.
We coming to get the bag.
Come and get the bag.
We coming to get the bag.
Your money good.
Look, game is hell now.
It's in the blood.
It's in the blood.
But you remember this, fellas.
Yeah.
Remember this. We have to always
scratch the win. Y'all know what's up.
Hey.
Gotta get 'em, man.
Hell yeah, man. That's what we on tonight. That Gameness.
Yeah, baby.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, baby.
Ain't no different levels of that Gameness. Is Gameness.
Look,
Dead game means he's dead and gone, but it was game.
Hey, look here, man. Hey, you know what's up. Y'all know what's up. Hey, man. I like my little growl right there every once in a while.
Hey, fellas, thank y'all people for coming out. People on the views, don't forget to let me know what you want to do.
Hit them subscribe buttons, baby. Hit them like buttons, you know what I'm saying?
It's never too late to donate to the cause, fellas, because the cause is still there.
The cause is still there,
man. We appreciate you regardless, so make it happen when it happens.
Yeah.
Let's go, Captain.
Until Tuesday, y'all have a good weekend, man. And always remember, we out.
Oh, OB.
to my boy Fat Farm Bet Ray. Boosie, I see you, baby. Boosie, I see you, baby. Fresh DGSB. Thanks for the muscles. Appreciate that, fam. Roderick. Bradford. Welcome to the show, fam. Reckless. Appreciate the muscles, baby. Been looking out, partner. Dreadlock. Thanks for the roses, fam. Appreciate you as always. Gratulon, look to see you more, man. Appreciate you stopping by, baby. Much love with the news. Special shout out to a whole entire chat. Y'all had good conversations. Give people a lot of things to look at. I want you to know that is very much appreciated coming from us. Because not only do they watch the videos, they read what's going on in the chat. And there's a lot of good information in that chat. And it wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for you guys. So I want you guys to keep coming back, share your knowledge. That makes the game so much better. Makes the fraternity so much better. And I love the way you're networking. Much love and appreciation.
Vinny, I missed your call, Vinny. I'm off the air now, Vinny. You can call me. I'll answer.
Thanks again, fam. You've been a supporter since day one, man. Appreciate you.
myself.
There's still 32 people in the parking lot. What's that? We got 32 people still in the parking lot. Them like buttons, fellas. Much appreciation. We getting more likes. I'm loving it. Still. Shannon G. Just subscribe to your channel, fam. Gonna be coming through, checking out what you got, baby. You support me, I can't have no other choice but to support you, fam. So I'll check you out over there. Got my notification on when you come on, so good looking out, fam. tonight. Shit. Club rocking and popping in Tampa. Hot night tonight in hot Tampa. Shit. That hot nigga had when he know he's gonna go kick. Shit, nigga be happy in hell changing clothes and shit. Much appreciation there, Mr. Jeremy Hunter. Thanks for the muscles and the strong arms and the roses. Salute, fam. boy, yeah! BB Buckshot! BB Buckshot! Shout out to the BB Buckshot! Muscles! Muscles, baby! Appreciate the pond, Jamie Brown. Appreciate the pond, baby Brown. Thank everybody for coming to the show. Don't forget to hit them like buttons, the subscribe buttons to all the new viewers. And I'll see you guys Tuesday.